He's my gym buddy, and if you can't handle that, you know where the door is, she snapped dismissively. So I packed my bags and left without a word. Now her buddy turned out to be a controlling abuser, leaving her isolated and begging for my stability back. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Hi Reddit, throwaway account for obvious reasons. This all went down over the last year or so, and honestly, writing it out feels like closing the book on a chapter one should have ended sooner. If you're into those viral tales of betrayal and quiet comeuppance, buckle up. It's a doozy, but I'll keep it real. No exaggeration, just how it happened. Let me set the scene. My name's Alex, fake, duh, and I was in a relationship with Sarah for 5 solid years. We met in our late 20s through mutual friends at a barbecue. Nothing fancy, just burgers and beer. She was this vibrant, fitness-obsessed woman working in marketing, always talking about personal growth and pushing limits. Me? I'm a software developer, steady job, good pay, but nothing flashy. I liked the balance she brought. She got me into hiking and meal prepping, and I helped her with the practical stuff, like budgeting her freelance gigs or fixing her laptop when it crapped out. From the start, I was all in. Loyal to a fault, committed like it was my job. I turned down a promotion that would have meant relocating because she was building her career here and said she couldn't handle the distance. We need stability, Alex, she'd say, and I'd nod, thinking that's what love looked like, sacrifice. I remember one winter when she lost a big client and spiraled into self-doubt. I took unpaid leave to be there, cooking her favorite kale salads, listening to her vent for hours, even paying for a few months of her gym membership, because working out clears my head. It wasn't a big deal to me. I loved seeing her light up after a good session. But over time, things shifted. Sarah got deeper into the fitness scene, spending more evenings at this upscale gym downtown. At first, it was cool. She'd come home energized, sharing tips on form or nutrition. I'd join her sometimes, but my job had long hours, so mostly I'd wait up with dinner ready. Then came the comparisons. Subtle at first. You should see how Jake spots me on squats. His form is perfect. Jake was her gym buddy, this ripped personal trainer type she'd mention casually. I'd brush it off, but it stung when she'd scroll through her phone at dinner, liking his posts, mirror selfies, workout reels, that kind of thing. It escalated to emotional abandonment. She'd cancel our plans for quick sessions that turned into hours. One night, I planned a surprise date, tickets to her favorite band's show, but she bailed last minute. Jake's hosting a group class. It's networking for my brand, she texted. I ate alone that night, staring at the empty chair, wondering when I'd become the backup plan. Her posts online started featuring him more. Sweaty gym pics with captions like, pushing limits with the best spotter, #gymgoals. Friends would tag me, asking if everything was okay. It felt disrespectful, like she was flaunting something right under my nose. Internally, I was a mess, confused, vulnerable, questioning if I was overreacting. Is this just insecurity on my part? I'd think, replaying her words. But the mistreatment piled up. She'd snap if I asked about her day. Not everything's about you, Alex. Jake gets it. He doesn't interrogate. It made me feel small, like I was the problem for wanting basic respect. I tried talking it out once, gently. Hey, those posts with Jake, they bother me a bit. She rolled her eyes. Grow up. It's just fitness. That unfairness gnawed at me, the way she'd twist my concern into jealousy while demanding I support her independence. Looking back, I see the red flags waving like crazy. But love makes you blind, right? Until one evening, I couldn't ignore it anymore. I came home early from work and found flirty texts on her phone. Nothing explicit, but enough. Heart emojis. Can't wait for our next session winking face. From Jake. My stomach dropped. I didn't snoop. She'd left it unlocked on the counter while showering. That was the tipping point. The betrayal wasn't just emotional anymore. It felt physical, like she'd crossed a line she'd been dancing on for months. I sat there, heart pounding, as she came out in her towel. No yelling from me, though. I just held up the phone and said, calmly, "We need to talk about this." She froze for a second, then snatched the phone, her face twisting from surprise to defensiveness. "What the hell, Alex? Were you going through my stuff?" "No," I said evenly, staying seated on the couch. It was right there, notification popped up. But that's not the point. Those messages with Jake, they're not just gym buddy stuff. She huffed, wrapping the towel tighter, like I was the one invading her space. Oh my God, you're blowing this out of proportion. Jake and I, we just click. We motivate each other. It's not like I'm sleeping with him or anything. She paused, then added with a smirk, yet. That, yet, hit like a punch, but I kept my cool. So there is something going on? Sarah, we've been together 5 years. I deserve the truth. She paced the living room, her wet hair dripping on the floor I'd mopped that morning. Truth? Fine. Jake makes me feel alive. He's passionate, driven, pushes me in ways you don't. You're comfortable, predictable. I love you, but I need more excitement. We've been talking, yeah? Flirting a little, but it's harmless. If you're so threatened by a guy who actually shares my interests, that's on you. I felt the confusion swirl. Her logic was so twisted, like my loyalty was a flaw. Threatened? This is about respect. You've been comparing me to him for months, posting those pics, canceling on us for him. If it's harmless, why hide it? She stopped pacing and crossed her arms, her tone turning smug. Hide? I don't have to report every conversation. Relationships need space, Alex. You're smothering me with your insecurity. Jake gets that. He doesn't cling. He challenges me to be better, not just exist. Smothering. I echoed, keeping my voice steady. I've supported you through everything. Your job hunts, your fitness goals. Paid for half that gym membership. And now it's smothering. She laughed, a short, dismissive bark. See? That's your problem. You think throwing money at things makes you a hero. Jake doesn't need to buy my loyalty. He earns it. If you can't handle me having a male friend who actually inspires me, then maybe we're not right for each other. There it was, the cruelty bubbling up. I nodded slowly, feeling the weight lift even as it hurt. So that's it. You're choosing this over us. Her eyes narrowed, that smugness peaking. Choosing? I'm not choosing anyone. But if you're going to make ultimatums about my gym buddy, then yeah, handle it or don't. He's my gym buddy, and if you can't handle that, you know where the door is. The words hung in the air, sharp and final. She said it so casually, like dismissing a bad waiter. No remorse, just entitlement. I stood up, not arguing, not begging. Okay, Sarah. Message received. She blinked, maybe expecting a fight. Wait, what? You're just leaving. I didn't respond. Instead, I went to the bedroom and started packing. Essentials first, clothes, laptop, a few books. She followed, leaning on the doorframe, watching with crossed arms. This is ridiculous. You're overreacting. Come on, let's talk it out like adults. But her talk was just more justifications. Jake's not replacing you. He's just different. Fun. You could learn from him, get out of your rut. If you stayed, maybe we could work on this. Open things up or something. I zipped my bag, her words bouncing off me. Twisted logic again. Blame me for the rut she created. No need, I said quietly. You've made it clear. She scoffed. Fine, run away then. You'll regret this. Who's going to cook your boring meals now? Good luck finding someone who puts up with your routine. I grabbed my keys, looked her in the eye one last time. No outburst, no tears from me. Take care, Sarah. And I walked out, the door clicking shut behind me like the end of a bad movie. That night, I crashed at a buddy's place, staring at the ceiling. The confusion hit hard. How had I let it get this far? The unfairness of it all. I'd given everything, and she tossed it aside with a smirk. But I didn't text her, didn't call. I just detached. Blocked her on socials the next day, not out of spite, but to preserve my sanity. Transferred the lease utilities to her name quietly. Disappeared from her life without a trace. It hurt like hell, read it. The silence after was deafening. But I knew begging wouldn't change her. So I focused on me. The weeks after were a blur of quiet agony. I moved into a small apartment across town. Nothing fancy, just a one-bedroom with a view of some trees. No mutual friends there to report back. I'd chosen it for the isolation, a clean break. Work became my anchor. As a developer, I dove into projects I'd neglected, staying late to code, earning a small raise that felt like a win amid the chaos. But the betrayal lingered. I'd wake up at 3 a.m., replaying her words. He's my gym buddy. How smug she'd been, like I was the fool for trusting. Flashbacks hit randomly. Remembering the time I surprised her with a home gym setup for her birthday, only for her to use it once before ditching it for the real gym with Jake. Or when she was sick, and I nursed her back, canceling my own plans. What had I sacrificed? My social life, mostly. Friends I'd let fade because couple time mattered more. Now, alone, the unfairness burned. She'd manipulated my commitment into a cage, then blamed me for it. Confusion ruled those early days. Was I too boring? Too safe? I'd question, scrolling job listings or staring at my reflection. Vulnerability crept in. I cried a couple times, privately, admitting how discarded I felt. Like a backup plan she'd outgrown. But I didn't lash out. No drunk texts, no social media rants. Instead, I started therapy. Once a week, talking it out with a neutral voice. You're not the problem, the counselor said. Her actions reflect her, not you. Slowly, I rebuilt. Joined a local gym, not hers, obviously. Ironic, right? But lifting weights cleared my head, built confidence. Dropped 15 pounds, felt stronger. Picked up hiking again, solo trips where the silence wasn't lonely anymore. It was peaceful. Reconnected with old friends. Turns out, a few had seen the red flags but stayed quiet. She always seemed self-absorbed, one admitted over beers. Months passed, 3, then 4. I heard snippets through the grapevine, nothing direct. Sarah and Jake were official now, posting couple workouts, looking picture perfect online. It stung at first, but I stopped checking. Focused on my arc. From vulnerable wreck to someone clearer, calmer. Work promoted me to lead dev. I even started a side project, an app for tracking fitness goals. Life without her drama? Refreshing. The unfairness faded into lessons. I deserved respect, not comparisons. Internal voice shifted. No more why me, but what now? I dated casually once or twice. Nothing serious, just testing waters. Felt free, unburdened. The silence I'd chosen? It was my dignity. No confrontation needed. Walking away was enough. Little did I know, her world was about to crack. It started with a casual text from a mutual friend, Mike, someone I'd kept in touch with but hadn't seen much since the split. Hey man, heard some stuff about Sarah. You okay? I replied vaguely, not wanting details, but curiosity got me. We met for coffee, and that's when the cracks in her perfect new life spilled out. Turns out, Jake wasn't the dream motivator she'd painted him as. At first, it was all hearts and hashtags. Couple selfies at the gym, weekend getaways she posted about with captions like, found my push. But behind the filters, things soured fast. Mike had heard from his girlfriend, who was still loosely in Sarah's circle, that Jake was controlling from the jump. He'd critique her outfits, her meals, even her friends. Why hang with those losers? Stick with me, we're elite. It started subtle, isolating her under the guise of optimizing their lifestyle. Sarah, always chasing that high, went along with it. She distanced herself from her old crowd, including family. Her sister tried reaching out, but Jake would hover during calls, chiming in with advice that sounded more like commands. Work suffered too. Her marketing gigs dried up because she'd skipped deadlines for his spontaneous training sessions. He's helping me level up, she'd defend, but really, he was chipping away at her independence. Then it escalated. Verbal jabs turned abusive. You're nothing without my guidance. He'd snap if she missed a rep or questioned him. Mike's girls saw bruises once. Sarah brushed it off as a gym accident, but the fear in her eyes said otherwise. Jake's instability showed. He had a history of bouncing between women, using them for ego boosts before discarding them. When Sarah finally pushed back, demanding more commitment after 6 months, he flipped. Accused her of being needy, just like she'd called me smothering. He ghosted her, blocking her everywhere, leaving her with a pile of shared bills from their upgraded apartment lease. The downfall hit hard. Broke from covering his half, he'd forgotten to pay utilities. She lost the place and crashed on a cousin's couch. Job gone, fired for unreliability. Friends? Most had bailed after she ignored them for Jake's circle, who turned out to be superficial gym rats. Her reputation tanked. Vague social media posts about toxic people backfired when mutuals pieced it together. Even her family grew distant, tired of her excuses. She chose that life, her mom reportedly said. I didn't seek this out, Reddit. It filtered to me through the grapevine. And yeah, there was a twinge of satisfaction. Ironic justice after her smug dismissal. But mostly, I felt detached. My life was thriving. Promotion secured, app side hustle gaining traction, even started volunteering at a local coding bootcamp. The karma wasn't revenge, it was just consequences catching up. She'd discarded me like yesterday's protein shake, and now she was the one left empty. Hearing it all, my internal voice solidified, clear, calm. This is what happens when you chase illusions. No pity from me. She'd earned her unraveling. But it set the stage for what came next. Her reaching out, like clockwork. The first contact came via text, about 7 months post-breakup. I'd just wrapped a solid workout, my routine now, not hers, when my phone buzzed. Unknown number, but the message gave it away. "Alex, it's Sarah. Can we talk? I miss what we had." I stared at it, feeling nothing but mild surprise. No rush of emotion, no urge to respond. I left it on read. But she persisted. Next day, "Please, I know I messed up. Jake was a huge mistake. He wasn't who I thought." Still, silence from me. Then the calls started, voicemails at first, her voice shaky but sweet. "Hey, it's me. I've been thinking a lot. You were always so stable, so good to me. I took that for granted. Can you call back? I just need to hear your voice." I didn't. Therapy had taught me boundaries. Responding would reopen wounds I'd healed. But her attempts ramped up. Emails next, longer, more detailed. "Alex, remember our hikes? The way you'd pack those picnics? I crave that normalcy now. Jake, he controlled everything. Isolated me. I'm sorry for how I treated you. Let's meet for coffee." Hypocrisy dripped from every word. She'd mocked my predictable life, now begging for it. Power shift evident. Her desperation versus my indifference. Friends got involved too. Toxic as hell. Mike forwarded a message from her bestie. "Dude, Sarah's going through it. Be a man and talk to her. She needs closure." I chuckled at that. Closure? She'd slammed the door on me. Then her family piled on. Her sister called one evening, voice sharp and unpleasant. "Alex, this is Lisa. Sarah's a wreck because of you." "Yeah, she screwed up, but family's family. You owe her a conversation, at least hear her out. Don't be petty." "Owe her?" The entitlement floored me. I kept it brief. "Lisa, respectfully, I don't. Tell Sarah to move on." Click. That lit the fuse. Sarah's next texts turned desperate, then angry. "Why are you ignoring me?" I poured my heart out. "Jake abused me, don't you care?" Then, "Fine, be heartless. You probably enjoyed hearing about my mess. But I know you still think about me. We had something real." Voicemails escalated too. One night, slurred words. "Alex, please. I'm alone now. Lost my job, my place. Jake left me broke. You were my rock. Come back." The next morning, fury. "How dare you ghost me? After everything I did for us? You're spineless." Her true colors shone. Smug dismissal flipped to manipulative rage. Friends harassed via group chats. "Give her another shot. She's changed." Even her mom emailed, guilt-tripping. "She cries every night." As her ex, you have a responsibility. No, I didn't. I blocked the unknowns, filtered emails. The attempts revealed her hypocrisy, demanding space when it suited her, now invading mine. Emotional shifts clear, from fake remorse to entitled anger. Through it all, I stayed composed. Short replies when forced. "Sarah, I wish you the best in healing." But mostly, silence. My life. Fuller than ever. New hobbies, stronger network. Her pleas? Background noise. Until the party. It was Mike's birthday bash at a rooftop bar, neutral ground, mutual friends. I almost skipped, but I'd RSVP'd weeks ago, and backing out felt like letting her win space she didn't deserve. I showed up sharp. New shirt, confident from my recent app launch success. Chatted easily. Even brought a casual date. Emily, a colleague turned friend, nothing serious yet, but her presence underscored my growth. Sarah was there, uninvited twist. Mike later apologized, saying her friend dragged her along. She looked rough, disheveled hair, forced smile, alone in the corner, nursing a drink. Our eyes met across the crowd. She beelined over, desperation etched on her face. "Alex," she started, voice trembling as people milled around. "Thank God. I've been trying to reach you. Can we talk?" Privately. I stayed planted, calm. "Sarah, this isn't the place." She ignored that, words tumbling out. Please. I see it now. You were the best thing. Jake. He controlled me, hit me even, left me with nothing. I'm isolated, broke. But us? We could fix this. I miss your stability. Forgive me. Her plea hung, hypocritical after her past twists. Nearby friends shifted uncomfortably, the public setting amplifying her failure against my poise. I met her eyes, firm and detached. Sarah, that chapter's closed. I walked through the door you pointed out, and on the other side, I built a life that's mine, promotion, projects, peace I never had with the drama. You're part of the past now, irrelevant to where I'm headed. I've learned what real respect means, and it's not circling back to what broke me. Protect your own peace. I've got mine. No sympathy. No, that's awful. Just facts, focused on my evolution. She flushed, anger flashing. You think you're better now? Enjoy your peace. You'll end up alone. I shrugged lightly. Maybe, but it's better than what you chose. Turned back to Emily and the group, conversation flowing as if she weren't there. She stormed off, humiliated amid whispers. The contrast? Stark. Her desperation on display, my thriving evident. Later, a final angry text, blocked instantly. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.